Our lab seeks to understand the brain mechanisms underlying social interactions, and in this case, vocal interactions, conversations. And this is something that's really central to who we are as people, to interact with others in society. And yet we know very little about how the brain accomplishes this. About a decade ago, we started looking primarily in the songbird brain. One major issue with the songbird we studied is that it's really a one-sided conversation. The bird will sing, and there's really no feedback from another speaker. So we started studying this small Costa Rican rodent. And these are very social creatures that sing in tandem. Two animals sing together, maybe even larger numbers as well. And that's something that we got to go beyond the songbird to find out what happens when it's more of a give and take. Conversation is something we often do effortlessly, and yet certain parts of conversation are really amazing. So people have studied the amount of time it takes for one speaker to pick up after another speaker has left off. And that's about 1/5 of a second, about half the time it takes you to blink an eye. And so this is an incredibly fast, seamless process that really is done effortlessly. These animals that we're studying, these Costa Rican rodents, Scitinamys tiguina, can do something very similar to that. So one speaker, in this case a singer, will perform, and the other singer will pick that up and with just a split-second precision be able to take that cue and continue with it.
In this study with singing mice, we did a couple of experiments to figure out which brain region is in charge of controlling the timing when they engage in conversations. Firstly, we cooled that brain region in the motor cortex and their song slowed down. And secondly, we silenced that brain region temporarily and their ability to participate in this back and forth of conversation went away. We found a division of labor where there are subcortical mechanisms that seem to be able to generate the sound, and then there are motor cortex which sits on top of that mechanism and tells the subcortical pathway when to start, how fast to sing, so on and so forth. So this goes in line with the long hypothesized executive function of the cortex, and we think this is one way in which cortex instructs the subcortical pathways how to take part in proper conversation.
10% of Americans suffer from some type of communication disorder, either as a result of a stroke or diseases such as autism. And I think these animals give us a new window into understanding the root cause of these diseases and ideally a new therapeutic intervention.